Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 1:33 p.m.
So I'm Crystal, nice to meet everybody online, on YouTube. Right guys, because I'm not having success at meeting people outside, even though I've tried, isn't that Mark came up to me from Raynham and it never went anywhere. So guys, I gave my number to British Gas and I did indeed get a call back from a Scottish woman. She was Scottish and she said she could hear background noise. I couldn't hear a damn thing. When she spoke to me, this Scottish young woman, I heard absolutely nothing but her voice. I heard no background noise whatsoever. And she said to me, it's not beneficial for her to take the call at the moment because she can hear background noise. I couldn't hear a thing, I couldn't hear a crackle. She said, I'm going to put the phone down now and I'll call you back. So this Scottish woman rings me back on the phone that's not working. So I ring her on the small phone I bought, and she rings me back on the phone that I can't answer because it doesn't work properly. Which is great, fantastic, isn't it? So I can't get through to British Gas. I can't speak to somebody sensible who will just help me set up regular monthly payments so I can pay this £409 off that I supposedly owe. So I tried to call British Gas again and I can't get through. It keeps cutting off and cutting out and I can't get through to it. I don't know whether it's a fault at my end or their end, but it keeps terminating the call. When I ring them it keeps cutting out. But it wasn't beneficial for her to take the call because she could hear background noise. Again, when I went up to my mother's Jennifer's yesterday, it's all about Ben, isn't it? Ben Nevis and beneficial. My mother's mental health worker for over 13 years was Mr. Ben somebody or other. His name was Ben. He was an Asian mental health nurse that was my mother Jennifer's mental health nurse. I have never had mental health workers out to myself in Chatham or Rochester. I've never had any mental health workers. My mum used to have mental health workers and she used to go to Elmsley House. She used to go to Kingsley House in Gillingham where her mental health team were working there. I do not have any mental health workers. I have never had any mental health workers down in Medway. Will you stop mixing me and my mother up, please? So I've got that out of the way. My mum and I had a conversation around Dorrell Gardens where my mother lives. I live in Rochester, about this Ben who put a mental health injection into my mother's bottom for 13 years, a mental health drug in my mum's bottom. She happened to say yesterday when I was round there that this Ben used to think she wore no pants, and he used to tell all his other mental health colleagues that my mother Jennifer wore no knickers. That is what my mum said to me yesterday. I'm not Jennifer. It's beneficial for me to pay this gas bill off so it doesn't accrue and make more debt. Okay, I'm trying to sort my gas bill out. I'm not mentally ill. I live in my flat by myself with 2 cats and a dog. mentally ill, I would have workers in and out looking after me, and obviously I don't. And to keep my cool with all the things that have been going on, right? How possibly could a mentally ill person cope with all the stress that I've undergone in the past 12 years of living down in this area of Medway, Chatham and Rochester, with no support? I've never met a member of Hyde Housing. I haven't. The only member I met of Hyde Housing was Michelle Shrewsbury when she showed me and my son this flat that I live in. Because when I chose to take this flat, my son came around here with me. And I live in this flat by myself. Do you think somebody that has chronic schizophrenia would be left alone without any mental health drug? I don't take any mental health drug apart from depression tablets, because all this stress and all this cruelty I'm going through makes me feel depressed, and being alone and isolated makes me feel depressed. So I wondered why we had a few builders doing this with their bottoms this morning underneath my balcony. Because my mum said that when Ben came round to her address at Victoria Road, he stuck a needle in her bottom. No one stuck needles in my bottom. The only needle that went wrong was when I had an epidural in the Gloucestershire Royal Hospital, and they used the students to put an epidural in my back, and it went wrong. That's when I had a needle go wrong.